Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you're listening to us on your computer or on one of the many glorious apps, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not listening on one of the apps, remember that you and your friends can, so spread the word. Just get the free-to-download TuneIn Radio app and search MSC Radio Network, and you are ready to go listening to this show straight from your hand or pocket. Or if you set the phone on a table or desk, wherever you put it, the sound comes out, and it's us. It's science. Anyways, remember, as always, you can call the show 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows@morningshowcentral.com. Find us on Twitter. It's at @high_on_sports or #high-on-sports. Facebook.com/high-on-sports and high-on-sports-radio-show.com. It's got the archive, all our past shows. Bunch of other fun stuff. Again, high-on-sports-radio-show.com. All right, let's get right into this. We've got a jam-packed show for you. It is round one. Let's go. All right, we're going to start with some football. Obviously, this is Super Bowl week. We are the only show not in New Orleans right now,
So
which is
depressing.
really depressing.
They cut our budget.
They did.
What budget?
Remember last year when we were broadcasting live from Indianapolis?
Yeah,
I remember
it happened.
that. I'm sure. Remember that?
Indianapolis, it's
When
right
we were
around
there?
the corner, bro.
Right?
Exactly.
Just down the road. we just
Exactly.
loaded up in the school bus.
It is funny to see on all the shows the recurring theme, from the player's perspective about stay out of trouble, it's Super Bowl week and all that and everything, and it's funny to think like they're saying that stuff now. No one was going with that storyline last year because it was like how much trouble is in Indianapolis. Is anyone
Right.
afraid of downtown Indianapolis? The notorious Indianapolis strip clubs? I mean, it's just... But there's a whole new ball game. This is Nolans. Nala. That's what it says on the Hornets jersey sometimes. Soon to be Pelicans. I wonder if they'll still do that. Nala. Anyways,
That dude needs to be kicked in the head.
this is New Orleans is the epicenter
Who the
of the
hell
world
names
right
a
now.
basketball team the Pelicans? That's worse than
intimidating.
95% of the women's basketball team names.
So
And they are
intimidating.
bad.
It's
Anywho.
I think it's pretty intimidating.
Yeah.
Would you fight a pelican? Would you fight one if it's just standing there, ready to attack with its throat pouch?
What is it going to do? Try to eat you?
Who knows what it's storing in
have
its
rabies.
throat pouch?
Pelican rabies.
I don't think it can bite. It doesn't have teeth. It just swallows.
It could have a gun or a small knife hidden in its
Yeah,
throat
just-
pouch.
Just kind of whip a 9 out with its wing.
Yeah, exactly.
A troublemaker pelican.
Gotta watch out for these things. Pelicans are intimidating. Not really. It makes you think, though. It sparks an interesting discussion of we think of pelican, like we hear them now, and it's because it's new. It sounds so bad to us, but there's a lot of not intimidating creatures and things that teams are named after. Who's ever been afraid of a dolphin? A cub.
Yeah, but the dolphins are cool.
A cub is not very
It's
scary.
a bear.
It's a baby bear.
It's still a bear. You
That's-
want to it'll still bite you.
That's when it doesn't even
And
know
it doesn't,
it's strong.
it's not even
yet.
like about just being intimidating. Just Pelicans is a stupid freaking name.
It is pretty bad. I'll give you that.
There's some bad sports names out there.
Oh, there's
I'm
tons.
looking up some right now.
Utah Jazz. How does that make any sense? Somebody
Well,
tell
that
me
used
that.
to be the
moved from
New
the
Orleans
Orleans.
Jazz.
Yeah, why didn't they change their name?
Because
The Oilers
always gotta-
moved to Tennessee,
No,
and
there was
they know there's no
rumors
oil
years
there.
ago that there was supposed to be a big name swap. As soon as the Hornets moved to New Orleans, they were going to do a trade with, I think Memphis and Utah were involved. Utah was going to become the Grizzlies. New Orleans
All right.
would have been the Jazz. And
How does that even work?
they're just
You
going to do a
just
name trade.
names?
It was discussed, but obviously not approved because
That's the dumb-
this is many years after the fact.
That's worse than naming them the Pelicans.
It,
Just switching names.
It sounds crazy that you would trade names like that, but I'd do it. I mean, there's no how many Grizzlies are in Memphis? Probably none. I don't know. I've never been, actually. I'll take that back.
Plenty in Utah.
Exactly. There's nothing but Grizzlies in Utah.
How do you know? Have you been to
Grizzlies and
Utah?
salt.
That's
I've
Grizzly
seen
country.
pictures. I've seen pictures of Utah. Thank you very much. Anyways, no, football is obviously what we were just talking about, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, not Grizzlies
Remember?
and Sasquatches.
Remember when I said Dolphins that one time? Football. There you go.
Okay.
No, let's not talk big game yet. Let's talk a game. Yesterday, the only football that's on the week before the Super Bowl, the Pro Bowl. There's not much to break down, to analyze here. It had its little moments, little things here and there. There was J.J. Watt covered in blood when something happened to his finger.
Yeah, he went
There
out
was like
on
a
offense,
mist,
too.
a mist of blood over about half of him. That it's like, did something in your finger blow up or burst?
I don't.
Because
it looked
I don't
bad.
see how that happens.
It looked bad.
Unless it started bleeding and he stuck it in front of a
He
fan
probably
or something.
well, he probably was shaking it, going, "Ow, my damn
True,
finger
true.
hurts! Oh my god, I'm covered in blood. That's not good."
And then there were other things. Jeff Saturday, obviously playing for the NFC, came out for one snap for the AFC to be his final snap to Peyton Manning.
Oh,
At the end of his career, this was the last outing for him. And it was just this great little moment, where I didn't realize it at first because I was like, Jeff Saturday snapped to Peyton Manning. Oh, that happens all the time. And then it wasn't even until the game's over that I was like, wait a minute. He's on the other team. Who approved this?
Well, yeah, but before that story hit that he's going to retire, who heard of Jeff Saturday? Really?
Everybody
mean,
did. He was Peyton Manning's center for
He's
like
probably
30
a Hall of
years.
Famer.
Outside
honestly.
of Indianapolis, and no one knows who
He's
that
probably
guy
a
is.
Hall of Famer, but he's a Hall of Famer offensive line where it's like
Yeah.
it's not a story. It's just good work. Good work for you. I don't know. No, but the Pro Bowl. Commissioner Goodell has not been. He's been very clear about how he does not want this game to be played.
You know
anymore.
what? It's because I don't think
There's
he want-
he has problems with the intensity and everything, and last year was just. Last year was not even worth watching. It was just the NFC ran away with it like they did last night. But the NFC, by the way, final score NFC 62, AFC 35.
Oh, who cares?
Highest scoring Pro Bowl ever. Guess which one it beat out
last year.
last year. So, take that for what it's worth. But I'll tell you this. It beat out in ratings, all right, yesterday. Now, some of these games it didn't compete against, but I'm just saying in a total rating share, it did better than Lakers Thunder, Celtics Heat, and who did the Knicks play? I keep forgetting. The Knicks played last night. They won for them. Knicks somebody. It's blanking me right now, but because I was
remember.
watching the Pro Bowl. But I mean, and it got more bets than those three games combined. People bet on the Pro Bowl. I just found that out today.
That's a sucker bet.
Guess what the over-under was? 70 combined points. You can bet the people took the over like mad. The game cumulatively, what is this? 96 points. It's freaking crazy. But that's what happens. There's, you really don't play defense in the Pro Bowl. But my question to you guys is take it or leave it. Does it matter? Should we even be wasting our time with this? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
Yeah, we should be wasting our time.
with the Pro Bowl.
I would have worded it better.
Well, I mean, obviously not wasting our
Yeah,
time.
we should waste our time.
No, I mean, it's just like anything else with the NBA All-Star Game, MLB All-Star Game. Just no one pays as much attention to the NFL Pro Bowl because usually it was after the season. So by then it's like, well, we already got our Super Bowl champ. Like, I mean,
It's
baseball
an
and
appetizer
basketball.
after you already had your main course.
Because, I mean, baseball and basketball are easier because it's in the middle of the season. So that's why it gets so much more view. I mean, and so it's tough, but, I mean, it's still an all-star game of sorts and it's still fun. Because, I mean, it's not supposed... I don't know. And see, Roger Goodell needs to stop bitching because he's already... He's complaining there's not enough intensity. But in the regular season, if you hit someone hard, you get fined and flagged and say there's too much intensity.
Come on,
you
it's
can't have
about
it both
where
ways.
you hit them. It's not about
No,
how hard.
you can't have it both ways.
100% where you hit them.
Nope.
The NFL encourages its players to actually hit as hard as they can in the strike zone, which is the body.
I'm just
They
saying.
just don't want you taking off somebody's head.
I'm just saying. You can't have it both ways.
I see you can't really promote like, oh, come on, go harder when it's like you can't turn a blind eye to safety in the Pro Bowl when.
I mean, look at the NBA
Yeah, I get
All-Star
where
game.
you're
You know they're
coming
not
from.
going hard. Half the time they're doing all this
No.
trick crap and everything else. It's just
Yeah.
in the middle of the season, so that's why
It
million
just
more people watch
looks
it.
cooler watching a sweet basketball
Well,
highlight.
yeah, I know it's weird because it's football, but I don't know.
You
I'll
just
still watch
do
it.
stuff in the air.
And I mean, you
It's
can't get
exciting.
rid of it.
What do you think,
That'd
Von
be
Eric?
crap.
Well, the idea is.
That'd be
I mean,
shitty for the
I'll say this real
players.
quick. The idea, yeah, free
They
trip
get
to
a
Hawaii.
right, and I think that's half the problem is the NFL's tired of giving everybody a free trip to Hawaii.
The thing is, they would still name a Pro Bowl team to each side.
well, what's the point in that?
But
I'm for
you wouldn't
that.
play.
I say send them to Hawaii, have them do some drills. Maybe some skills competitions.
That's been an alternative suggestion.
some kind of things that they can showcase themselves without actually being in a game where they might risk injury.
See,
Name the teams, send them out there, have them stay for however many days. It's almost a week that they're out there in Hawaii doing stuff,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It's almost comparable to a Super Bowl week. But yeah, just like you said, name them, have them do something, drills, whatever.
I think that would be kind of
See-
cool, like a skills competition like thing. But here, let me bring up something to you, because you're so gung ho about the Pro Bowl. And well, let me just say real quick my stance on it. I'm not. You'll never hear me excited about the Pro Bowl. I'm all for keeping it, but I'm not gonna fight for it if they want to get rid of it. Whatever.
well, the players don't want to get
Literally-
rid of
well,
it.
I'm just saying.
Roger Goodell wants to get rid of it.
Roger,
he's a
Well,
douche.
either way, the fact is, if they got rid of it, it really wouldn't bother me that much. Honestly, like I said, I watched it last night, but it was literally just kind of on in the background. You have to watch the Pro Bowl because it's the only football. And you're just clinging to football because in 2 weeks it's gone, and that just makes me cry inside and outside
mean, well,
and
it's-
everywhere I go. But here's the thing for you, Joe Thomas, Pro Bowler, obviously 6 for 6, on the start of a potentially Hall of Fame career. What happens if he goes down weird, turns his ankle the wrong way, tears an ACL, questionable for next season?
That could happen in baseball too.
Okay, but I'm
What's
just
his face? That
asking
one
you.
catcher back in the '70s ruined his damn career because Pete Rose bowled him over in the All-Star game.
Way to
It
keep it current.
happens.
Pete Rose ruined a lot of careers, including but
I'm
not
just
limited
saying,
to his own.
In the NBA, you could go up for a rebound, you land on someone's foot, shatter your ankle.
That's true.
It could happen in any sport.
But I'm not. But we're looking at
happens.
the one. You can't say. Well, they get to stay because everybody else is doing it. We're just looking at football. I'm just saying. Would you be saying the same things right now if Joe Thomas
I'd be
had
like-
suffered a threatening injury to his season next year?
Lord
It
forbid.
would suck, but
Heaven forbid.
get rid of it. You're gonna get rid of a whole All-Star game because somebody gets hurt.
No.
Yeah,
no.
then you might as well just get rid of football because people get hurt every other second. Get rid of everything.
I'm just saying it would feel really stupid.
I mean, it would suck.
I understand
but
Joe Thomas could be hurt doing anything, but I would feel just stupid as a fan if you happen to go out and it's at the Pro Bowl.
Well, I mean,
it
could go. It could go with any of them, though.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're having fun. Let them keep having fun.
That's
But
that's
like I
all it
said,
is. It's just
I
not
really don't
supposed to
care.
be like serious. It's just they're just going out there and they're
As
having
a-
fun.
From a fan perspective, I really just don't care. I don't care how much fun the players are having. I care about
well, see, it's not about us. It's about them.
I know.
They're the ones who made it.
I'm
It's
debating
about
about
them.
me.
It's not about us. And I mean, I'd be all for a skills competition
See-
too, but to have that go along with the game.
But how many of these stars are not going just because they don't want to go?
Well, that's
Just
they're
because they know
babies.
they don't want to risk injury on a contract year or something like that, you know?
Well, it has nothing to do with that. They're babies.
I mean, look at Josh Cribbs got in. Josh Cribbs, I'm sorry, I'm going to be blunt here. He should not have been in the Pro Bowl. Why was Josh Cribbs there? I know Jacoby Jones went out as a returner because he's in the Super Bowl, but really, Josh Cribbs
I mean,
didn't
he's
score a
still a
touchdown.
pretty good returner.
Josh Cribbs didn't score a touchdown this year. Josh Cribbs scored more touchdowns in the Pro Bowl than he did all year with one.
He still had one of the highest return
What about
averages.
what about that kid out of Denver that won in that playoff game? He had a pretty good season. And I don't even remember his name. It's weird. It's a unique name, so I
Couldn't
should
have been that
remember
good
it.
of a season then.
But I mean, please, it's a kick returner. They don't even make headlines anymore. Their position's been worked out of the game.
Pretty much.
But I don't know. Now, who
oh
knows?
my God, you're gonna get hurt.
Maybe this was the last time we saw Josh Cribbs wearing an orange helmet. Who knows? He's definitely not coming back for the money he made in his last contract.
No.
He's just not worth it anymore, especially to new owners and new management. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, this is a big thing here for us. It is time for our 2012-13 look back. I almost said live look back, and I was like, well, we're live. I don't need to emphasize that. Our live look back
Hey.
into our time capsule from 2012 all the way back into August. I don't even remember August. These were our picks for division winners, and ultimately it's going to culminate here with the Super Bowl and who our picks for the Super Bowl were. So let's get right into that here. This is the NFC South. As we all know, the winner was the Atlanta Falcons. Ashley, you and I picked correctly. Von Erich, you picked the Carolina Panthers.
I don't know what you were thinking.
Now we go over to the East.
I'm just gonna preface all these picks by saying I was really hopped up on baseball at the time.
Well, it was getting towards the end of the season.
Yes.
I'll give you that.
Now we move to the NFC East.
But
Don't look at my screen. You have your screen. I have mine.
I remember who I picked.
These are my two screens.
I'm like 99% sure I remember who I picked and everything.
All right, we move over to the East, and the anticipation increases. The real winner, Washington Redskins.
Yikes.
Von Erich, Ashley, you were both incorrect, as was I. I went with Cowboys. You both had the Giants. I kind of went out there and it's funny because I went back to listen to the show. You guys were giving me crap for the Cowboys. You're like, the Cowboys, come on.
Yeah.
I was the closest one to being right.
Well, I mean, it's not my fault. Giants
saying.
choked.
It's a little bit your fault.
No.
Kind of a weak
They
division
got a
to begin
damn
with.
they got a damn Super Bowl hangover and they forgot how to win.
All right, West. We're going out West. The actual winner is your NFC champion, San Francisco 49ers. And we were all correct.
Woo!
One of our, spoiler
pick.
alert, many sweeps, actually, as we continue here. Then we move up to the north. The Green Bay Packers was all of our picks and the division champs. We did it again. We did a really good year as far as
I'm pretty
picks
sure
go,
I
by
got
the way.
all of them, but the damn Redskins.
You might have. I think so, actually. Then we have a wild card. We didn't really do the wild cards. That was because I forgot to do wild cards in August. But two of us, Von Erich and I, both did mention a wild card team we had. Von Erich, you had the Detroit Lions taking the wild card, one of them. And
not a good
I
pick.
had
I'm not
pick
going
at
to
all.
fault you on that one.
I had the Chicago Bears. So we both whiffed on that one. But honestly, Detroit, yeah, that's a good point. As Detroit did, they embarrassed themselves.
Yeah.
That's on them. That's not
I
on
think
you.
Cleveland had a better
And
record than they did.
They did. And
Few of their
Chicago,
offensive guys had great years, but the team just did not win.
Chicago was 10-6, and they didn't make the playoffs. So
Oh, it's like us that one year.
exactly. So I still consider myself right, even though they weren't the wild card. And then we move over to the AFC, and we start out west. The Denver Broncos were the AFC West champions.
Yep.
Ashley, you and I picked correctly. Von Erich, you insisted on the Chargers.
I did.
You said if Phillip Rivers can get it going, they can win this division. Little did we know that. I mean, let's be honest. We all thought Denver would take most of us thought Denver would take a little more time than it took to just come in right away and start crushing it the way he used to in Indy. But apparently,
Manning.
it doesn't matter what shade of blue Peyton Manning's wearing. He's just going to win until it
I
matters.
had no doubt. No doubt in Peyton.
In the South, Houston Texans won the division, and that's who we all picked.
Yep.
And in the East, the Patriots won it, and that's who we all picked.
Of course.
You don't
And
say.
in
Oh,
the
really?
North, the Baltimore Ravens won it, and that's who we all picked. So we kind of crushed it overall as a unit here. I missed. Actually, we both you and I both missed one.
Just the Redskin pick?
Yes, you and I both missed the NFC East
Yikes.
because I went Cowboys, you went Giants.
And the damn RG3
And other than that,
got me.
Von Erich missed 3 because he missed that one with the rest of us, and then 2 of his.
Yeah, take that, experts.
2 of his. Yeah,
We're the
exactly.
experts now.
He was hopped up on baseball, and he only missed 3. Nice look with the Cavs, though. I like the Cavs
Yeah, I'm
apparel.
all decked out.
We were talking earlier. I have full intentions to wear my
Dude,
Irving jersey today.
They are
but I,
legit
Guys
right
got
now.
this shirt today.
After
All
that
right, nice
trade with
shirt,
Memphis,
nice shirt. Yeah, that was a good trade.
they,
That was a great trade. I remember seeing about it first, and then I looked at the trade, and I'm like, oh, so we traded who for, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, we
thought,
traded
as soon
one
as I saw
guy
it.
for what? 3 guys
But
and a pick?
as I thought about it, yeah, it's not a big name. It's not a layout
heck-
shaking trade. But we traded one guy, got 3, and a potential first round pick. Well, it will be a first round pick. It will just come at the earliest 2015 and the latest 2019.
See, it's weird how they do that with picks.
So it's really weird how it's protected at first because it's protected in the front and the back. It's like a 1 through 6 and then like a 15 through 30 protection. So it's just if they miss the playoffs, but they're kind of is the only
That's
way they get
weird.
it. So I mean, at the latest, it's 2019. Yeah, who knows what the hell's going on?
It's
2019.
confusing.
It is confusing. Just know that the Cavaliers will get a first-round draft pick, an extra one, in anywhere between 2015 and 2019.
Are you
Front
sure
office
about
made a
that, though?
good move.
Positive, unless they make another move with that pick, but I doubt they would. So
Yeah, 3 guys and a pick for who? Lure?
John Lure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
No, it was crazy though. I mean, one guy
I think
for
Memphis,
that's a
because
great
I think
deal.
Memphis was trying to clear up some cap room.
No, that's what they were
so
doing.
we milked everything we could get from them.
That's all the
Yeah.
trade was. It was them
But-
trying to clear up cap room, and in exchange, it's what the Cavs have done a lot here in the past. Is in exchange for taking all our heavy contracts, here's a first round draft pick.
Yeah,
It's the same with the draft pick that turned into Kyrie Irving. Remember, if you recall, it was
with on the Clippers.
they gave Mo Williams and Jamario Moon to the Clippers to take the Clippers' heaviest, terrible contract of Baron Davis. And basically the trade was, we give you a terrible deal, and in exchange, we'll also give you a
Yeah.
first round pick. But you have to give us something with a pulse back. So Mo Williams and Jamario Moon, former Globetrotter Jamario Moon, worth noting, kind of. Anyways, and we didn't really do wild cards again in the AFC, but I did mention that I believe the Oakland Raiders would be a wild card.
Oof.
I was mistaken. I would have been closer if I said Raiders with the first overall pick. But then I picked some awards. Some of these could pan out. Most of them won't. It's the fourth thing is I picked the Defensive Rookie of the Year. I had Bruce Irvin. Really hard to tell at this point who they're going to name Defensive Rookie of the Year. I don't think there's anyone that really ran away with it as far as on the defensive side of the ball. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I said Andrew Luck. It very well might be Andrew Luck. A lot of people are leaning Russell Wilson right now, but the Offensive Rookie of the Year is supposed to be for what you do weeks 1 through 17. If we're going to factor in the playoffs, yeah, Russell Wilson kind of won it. But again, Russell Wilson, it doesn't matter what he did in the playoffs. It doesn't count towards it. It still could very well be him. A lot of people have him as the front runner. We know it's going to be either him, RG3, or Andrew Luck. RG3 is most likely going to finish third in this, I would think. Luck could very easily still be number 1. I said Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Allen. I was wrong, probably. MVP, I said Tom Brady, and I was wrong. He did look like the MVP for a big chunk of the season, but ultimately it's coming down to either Peyton Manning or Adrian Peterson.
Which, yeah, they're going to get, one of them's going to get comeback player and MVP.
It's weird because never has the Comeback Player of the Year race been this relevant.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would
Considering
say
they're both in the MVP race, too.
here's who I would give the Comeback Player of the Year award to, by the way, out of the two, is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Because A, he came back from more, and B, Adrian Peterson went down the last game of the season last year.
Yeah.
He came back from a bad off season, but that's not what you're supposed to be looking at. He had a great season last year and then a phenomenal season this year. Peyton Manning had a season where he didn't even play last year out of health concerns and everything, and then came back to have a phenomenal season this year. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. I think that just on a technicality basis should give him the award. But now we have our Super Bowl picks here ready to go. I pulled the audio from the show. This is a little clip of each one of us sharing who we believe will be going to and winning the Super Bowl. And we're going to play those now. Chris, are you ready to play those? All right, here we go. This is we're going to start with Von Erich. This is you from August. Here we go.
I would pick the New England Patriots in the AFC, and for the NFC, I am picking Green Bay.
Ouch.
That's a good matchup. And who you got as the winner?
I have New England choking once again
Oh.
with Green Bay winning the Super Bowl.
I'll give you this. The two teams in the Super Bowl beat your two picks to get there.
That's no consolation to me.
No, it's not. All right, now we're gonna go with mine. Here's my prediction. When it
The
opens.
New England Patriots will be in the Super Bowl representing the American Football Conference. From the National Football Conference, though, this is my big one. I don't have a division winner. I have a wild card team getting hot and making the run. The Chicago Bears will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady will win it.
I don't know what I was thinking there. I don't fault myself for the Patriots pick. The Patriots should be there. I fault myself for the Bears part. I feel like that's is unnecessary to say, but I mean, I honestly thought with the addition of Brandon Marshall, is the Bears, it was always how far can the offense take him? Because the defense is the Chicago defense. It's going to do just fine.
Yeah.
I just thought with Brandon Marshall, somebody he had chemistry with, and it's an elite, like top talent receiver.
Oh, I had him in my one fantasy team. I know.
I mean,
It was their defense that fell apart at the end. It wasn't their offense. It was their defense went ice cold at the end of the season. They lost a couple in a row and then got knocked out of the playoffs.
they're full-grown Bears playing like they're Cubs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get it? Anyways. Now here's Ashley's picks for the 2013 Super Bowl when it opens.
I'm jumping on Peyton's bandwagon. I'm going Denver.
You think that he 1 year to take him to the
Yep.
Super Bowl?
1 year. That's all he needs.
He need a lot more than that for the Colts, but
He is almost as old
Well,
as
I mean,
Brandon
he's
Whedon, though.
when he was with the Colts, though, he was young. Now
true.
he's old and he's a veteran. And Denver has a legit defense.
and who will they be playing against?
They will be playing San Fran.
San Francisco.
They're gonna finally get over that hump, and they're gonna
Now
make
that
it.
would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
And who would win it?
I'm gonna take San Fran. I don't think.
That's right. My pick's still in it.
Yeah, you accurately picked someone who's in it right now. So this is all on the line for you.
Yeah,
this
come on,
Sunday.
San Fran.
If San Francisco wins, that means you have accurately predicted the Super Bowl champion before kickoff of Week 1. Feels good, doesn't it?
It does feel good.
Well, don't feel too good.
It does.
You didn't do it yet.
I didn't do it yet, but I got faith in San
I'm
Fran.
still the only one at this table that's done that. My first year on the show, picking the Green Bay Packers.
I got
win a Super
I
Bowl
got
and they
faith
beat
in
the
San
Steelers.
Fran, and because I refuse to watch Baltimore win a Super Bowl.
Oh, it'll be rough, wouldn't it?
I've had to watch Pittsburgh win 2 and Baltimore win 1. I better never have to watch either one of them win another one.
I'm worried that Baltimore has too much of the story on its side.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it's the only reason why they got through Denver and got through New England. It's like, oh, it's Ray Lewis's last year. Oh my God.
This weekend on the Saturday Night Live, they had they do the weekend update segment. They had a guy pretending to be Ray Lewis on there and everything. It was hysterical. It's like, Ray Lewis, what are you gonna do if you win? He's like, oh, it will be beautiful. I will kneel down at the 50-yard line and ascend into heaven. Through the roof and everything, it will be a beautiful sight. It was hilarious.
Did he do the dance afterward?
He did. Once he got up, he started doing the dance too. As he was leaving, the whole impression is just every couple of seconds he'd be asked a question, then he just started doing the Ray Lewis crying thing. And they asked him about the AFC Championship. Why were you crying so hard at the national anthem? He's like, that was the first time I heard that song. It's like, how does that make any sense? Normally, I'm wearing earplugs because I scream so loud. It was good. It was good stuff. All right, you know what? Let's cut the crap. Let's get to why we're here. This is our last show before Super Bowl Sunday. Super Bowl 47, a shootout in Nolans, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. once housed people during Hurricane Katrina, and all the excitement is down again. I don't know why I felt the need to mention that. I was like,
Well, everybody else brings it up every other day.
I had something going. There was like momentum and energy there. It was setting the mood for Super Sunday. And then I thought of the Superdome, and I remembered those poor people during Katrina.
I just pictured.
And that's why they got a Super Bowl handed to them a few years back.
I was picturing Mercedes-Benz, and then you said they house all these people.
How's the people in your Hurricane Katrina?
I'll say this. I used to have a joke years ago with my brother about Drew Brees' birthmark on his face. It always looked to me like it was growing or changing in size. And so we got this running thing about the better the Saints are doing, the more it grows. And I'll tell you what, it was just a joke, but they showed him during the Pro Bowl. It looked small and it looked scabby. Like, because the Saints are doing worse than they've done in so long. It's shrinking and causing him face pain. When we get back, we are making our Super Bowl predictions with scores, so be ready for that.
Oh, boy.
What's urinating us off? NBA All-Star roster breakdown. All that and so much more. Listen to High on Sports on the MSC Radio Network.
User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com. Heat 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Are you tired of all the overhyped advertisements for energy drinks and energy supplements?
Maybe skydiving from a suborbital spacecraft or jumping a snowmobile over 80 buses is not in your agenda.
Maybe you just want to make it through the day effectively. Whether it's work, school, or raising a family, life's demands can be overwhelming. When you need that extra kick in the butt to help get you going, try Cocaine Energy. You'll not find a more effective energy supplement. Cocaine Energy has higher caffeine content per ounce than any other energy supplement on the market. And it's safe. Worried about the side effects of so much caffeine? We got you covered. Cocaine is scientifically formulated to mitigate against the side effects normally associated with large doses of caffeine, such as the jitters and heart palpitations. So what are you waiting for? Try cocaine today, because life doesn't wait. Cocaine is available at local retailers and online at www.drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. Once again, that's drinkcocaine.com. This product does not contain the drug cocaine. Duh. This product is not intended to be an alternative to an illicit street drug. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for children, pregnant women, or people sensitive to caffeine. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com.
Hey, Sam. Hey, excuse me. Am I interrupting nap time?
In this economy, it was hard to get this job. Unfortunately, it's even harder to keep it. And there's only so much a coffee machine can do.
Wakey, wakey. Hello.
You don't need yet another expensive trip to the corporate coffee shop. You need the tastiest, most effective energy shot on the market.
Are you fucking kidding me?
The Cocaine Energy Shot is an energy supplement with a whopping 280 milligrams of caffeine in each sugar-free, zero-calorie 2-ounce dose, delivering consistent all-day energy without causing the palpitations and jitters that can ruin your day. It's delicious, too.
When you wake up, you're fired. Sweet dreams, idiot. Why did I even hire this guy in the first place? What? What's this wrong? Oh, man. What? Huh? Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Whatever.
The new Cocaine Energy Shot. Sure, it's got a naughty name, but this little liquid miracle will beat out the competition to keep you at your best. Ask for it by name at your local retailer. If they don't carry it, demand that they do.
Let's go!
Or buy online at drinkcocaine.com. That's drinkcocaine.com. One more time, that's drinkcocaine.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not recommended for pregnant women, children, or people sensitive to caffeine. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on MorningShowCentral.com. From the Cocaine Energy Supplement Studio, you're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
Hello, and welcome back to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you're listening on your computer or on one of the many glorious apps, thanks for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not listening on one of the many glorious apps, remember, go and install the free TuneIn Radio app. Search MSC Radio Network, and you can just play it on the go from your smartphone. Technology today. The kids and their iPhones and their Zunes and whatnot baffles me. Remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at morningshowcentral.com. Tweet them at us at high_on_sports or with the hashtag high-on-sports. Facebook.com/high-on-sports and high-on-sports-radioshow.com. You got the archive of all our past shows. Bunch of other fun stuff again, high-on-sports-radioshow.com. All right, we have got so much to get to in so little time. It is round two. Let's go. First things first. Super Bowl Sunday is this Sunday. I'm sure everybody's having the little parties and the chip dips and the whatnot. But let's be honest why we're there, why we're watching. It all comes down to what goes on the field. Plus, the commercials are usually pretty good.
And getting drunk.
And getting drunk. But this time, it's the football. So
Beer, nachos, and wings. You can't go
the
wrong.
San Francisco 49ers, with second-year pro making his, ninth or 10th start of this?
10th career
10th
start.
of the season. 10th of his career. Daddy Longlegs, as he's sometimes being called by a very small group of people. Colin Kaepernick. I almost said Kirkpatrick.
I'm like, where are you
Ryan
going with
Kirk-
that?
Ryan-
Where are you going with that?
Yep. Colin Kaepernick. It's spelled weird. It's like one of those K-A-E. Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, of course, leading the San Francisco 49ers in their ridiculous defense. They have the best scoring against average in the last 2 years of anyone in the NFL. 15.7 points per game over the last 2 seasons. And they can run the ball. They got so many running backs. If each one gets like a yard, they're up over 100. So much talent on this team. Vernon Davis, Michael Crabtree, officially not charged with rape,
He is a
So
free
you know
man.
his head is clear. Of course, the wily veteran back for another goal with Randy Moss, playing in his, second Super Bowl ever, despite that talent?
Crazy.
I mean, did he ever play one in Minnesota? I'm forgetting.
I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
So.
I don't think he did. No, he had the one with the Patriots. Now he's here with San Francisco, taking on the Baltimore Ravens with Joe Cool, as he's sometimes called. I'll be blunt here, incredibly boring and somewhat emotionless, robot-esque Joe Flacco. And all the emotion he should have is drained and culminated by the entity that is Ray Lewis in his, quote, final ride. One last try at the Super Bowl for the big murderer, allegedly. And, just that defense is terrifying as ever. Ed Reed, Haloti Ngata. That guy is just like 8 times bigger than anyone else that steps on the field. And he's fast, too. It is a scary team. 2 scary, terrifying teams. I will be watching it through my covers because I'm so terrified of these defenses. And it is time for our picks with scores. We are going to start, as we always do, with Von Erich. Von Erich, who's winning Super Bowl 47?
I'm going with my gut and picking San Francisco in a tight game, 28-24.
Nice. I thought you said at first I thought you said a tie game.
Nope, tight
I was
game.
like, well, wait, hold on.
Yes.
They're going to go into 6
First
over.
ever tie.
Yes, Roger Goodell will pull a Bud Selig and declare the game over.
And ask the MVP who he wants to have won the Super Bowl. All right, now, Ashley, hold on. Slow your roll here a minute.
Okay.
I'm giving you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You do not have to be pigeonholed by what you did with your prediction you made. You can go with it, obviously. I am letting you off the hook to predict whatever you want. I just want you to know if you're wrong with what you're about to say, that I gave you the opportunity to make a switch. So I'm letting you pick whatever you want. Go ahead.
Yeah, obviously I'm still going 49ers.
Okay, just know that I gave you the chance.
Yeah. I mean, I could take Baltimore, then either way, I'm right either way.
Well, no, then we wouldn't count that one.
Well, that's
If you took the chance, I
that's
gave
a
you, we'd
bunch of
throw out-
baloney.
That's why did you say it like that?
I don't know. I think halfway through the word, I forgot what I was saying.
He had a stroke. Baloney.
Baloney.
Oh, that was great. We got to isolate that.
You're just reading that word for the first time.
4150, Ralphie.
Oh my
Baloney.
All right, what do you got?
49ers,
49ers, what's the score?
28-21 San Fran.
All right. I agree with you in that the final score will be 28-21. But, and no, this is not what I'm rooting for. I'm going to be the lone wolf here. I'm going Baltimore Ravens
get
28
out.
over the
Get out.
49ers 21. I want to be wrong. A lot of times I want to be wrong. I'm just rarely am. So that's my burden to
I
carry.
don't know.
So we'll see what happens. We got 2 Niners and a Ravens. We'll see what happens come our next show, where we will break down the Super Bowl. Unless it was just a blowout,
Francisco.
then we'll probably only touch on it. Anyways, no, we'll talk Super Bowl. But let's get into why we're here. Obviously, it's the Super Bowl, but why we're also here. We're here for a lot of reasons. One of them is to share what's urinating us off. This is a very, very special what's urinating us off, because it is not 3 individual things. It is 3 individual stories and things that all culminate into the same point. And we're going to, I'll set it up. I'll start with mine, and I'll let you guys share which aspect of this story is urinating off. The basic concept of it is the safety in football. Now, my aspect that I'm bringing to the table on this story here is what Bernard Pollard said. He is a safety for the Baltimore Ravens. He says, and let me get his exact quotes here up so I'm not paraphrasing Mr. Pollard. But Bernard Pollard is talking about changes coming to the NFL as far as safety goes. And some of the comments he made were certain things like he believes the NFL is removing the strike zone, which is very different from the strike zone of baseball. The strike zone in football is where you are allowed, where you hit. The zone where the NFL tells you, hit him here. All right, that's the strike zone. He believes that the idea is to get rid of that altogether. I've heard from football people that the NFL has not done anything to get rid of the strike zone. They've simply moved it off the head. They say aim for the body, and the NFL still encourages you hit as hard as you humanly can, as long as it's from the shoulders to the waist. As long as it's in that area, so you're not snapping an ACL and you're not knocking someone's head unconscious.
Ruptures an appendix, you're not gonna be able to hit there either.
But it's happened. That's happened, and they roll with it. But he says guys are getting fined and everything, and says that the fans are going to end up getting sick of it, and that they won't lighten up on throwing flags and everything. And basically, the main point of what he's saying, and he also talks about how the way the game is he believes it'll lead to what everyone sort of thinks, that some point, and knock on wood that it doesn't happen, but at some point someone will die on the field from a hit. Is what he thinks will happen, and what a lot of people say they think could eventually happen here. And he believes that through all these changes and everything, and fans getting so fed up and everything like that, he believes that in 30 years, there will be no NFL. Now, what urinates me off about this is, I know you guys have your takes on this, but I'll just share mine real quick, is that concept is absolutely ludicrous. Especially, why are you saying that as an NFL player? That I think this will be gone in 30 years, so I got mine. Sorry, guys. But the fact of the matter is, he talks about changes, and these changes have been going on. The game is drastically different from what it was 30 years ago, yet more popular now than it ever could have been back then. That's about 82. The Super Bowl is still the most watched thing in this country every year, breaking the record that the previous Super Bowl sets. All constantly beat out the previous record holder, the last episode of MASH. Just a fun fact. Anyways, my problem is he talks about the flags. We know they throw a lot of flags, especially because pass interference has changed drastically from the days of Jerry Rice in the past and Chris Carter and all them. But the fact of the matter is, they throw a flag and then they show the highlight, and we're either sitting there like, "Oh, you idiot! Why'd you do that?" Or, "Come on, what a stupid call!" But you know what? We keep watching the game. We're not going to give up. The fact of the matter is, they make these changes, but what change have they made? You can barely touch Tom Brady anymore. Because of Tom Brady, you can't even touch the quarterback. You can't hit people in the head. They're going to call pass interference or holding whenever they decide they want to. I mean, the game has changed drastically. The tuck rule exists. The game has changed drastically in what most would call negative ways, yet no one, at least that I know or have heard of, has stopped. No one said, well, the tuck rule, well, that's it. I don't watch football anymore. I mean, you keep watching. You get mad at what's going on or what's happening, but you keep watching. And who's getting sick of players getting fined? I mean, the players, sure, but as fans, are we like, hey, stop fining these players. Stop taking thousands of dollars from that millionaire over there. No, we don't. We just care about the game. And the game, it's changing in a lot of ways, and it's still changing, but that doesn't mean we're going to give it up. We're not going to stop watching. We have nothing else to do. That's my take on it. Von Erich, you have another piece of this story, something that's been going around a lot this
I'll keep mine short because we could get into a whole debate about this, but what urinates me off is politics are now becoming involved, and I'm talking about Washington, D.C. type politics. The president himself has come out and said that if he had a son, that he's not sure if he'd let him play football because of the dangers associated with playing the game. He's quoted as saying, you read some of these stories about college players who undergo some of these problems with concussions and so forth, and then have nothing to fall back on. That's something I'd like to see the NCAA think about. And he also says that the NFL will probably change to reduce some of the violence. And I don't like suits getting involved with my sports.
I agree.
They tried to ruin baseball with that whole steroid investigation.
Oh, that was terrible.
And that could have been horrible for baseball. Thankfully, it's starting to pull through and people are forgetting about it. But who knows where this could lead to if they get involved.
I just think the whole thing with that is it was a sports magazine or whatever that was asking him about it. I think it's a weird thing to ask in general. I mean, like a weird question to start with. I'll say this: I'm not in favor of his answer. There's a part of me that appreciates the fact that he didn't give a real, political answer, because I could see like a lot of times a question like that just sort of being backed out of. Well, I don't have a son, so it's not something I have to worry about, but I love football. You know what I mean? But somebody made a good point I heard today is if the president did have a son, if your dad is the president of the United States, you don't really have to play football.
Yeah.
You got some career paths you could take instead.
Pretty much do whatever you want.
But the reason it's never going to change, well, not never going to change, but always going to be here is you look at people like Trent Richardson's a great example. He is obviously the primary wage earner in his family. He's got kids himself and everything. There's a lot of people that this is their only way out. You know what I mean? It's where situations where financially they're just screwed. But they can run and they can pass and they can catch and they can throw and everything. And a lot of these players use football as their way of earning money. Obviously, everyone in football earns money.
You're not going to earn any money if everyone stops watching it when it comes two-hand touch.
People are not going to stop watching it.
When it's two-hand touch,
it's not going to be two-hand touch.
They'll stop watching it.
It's not going to be two-hand touch.
Well, what are you going to do? Blow them over?
And what's your thing is similar to Von Erich's, but
Okay.
it's from someone else.
Well, so a radio station or whatever asked Jay Cutler's wife if she'd let her son play football, and she said, I'd try to talk him out of it, but obviously it's probably not going to work very well. So now you got some crazy mother going, oh my God, I don't want my little boy getting hurt. But the best thing ever was Troy, I don't know why, Cutler was like, yeah, of course I'd let him play, because he makes a great point. He's like, there's a huge number of players that have played football for numerous years, and they don't have any symptoms from concussions, and they're completely healthy still. It's like, from how many people that have played football, the few that are going loony bins and from getting hit in the head and killing themselves and stuff, it doesn't even, the percentage is too small. And he's like, everyone's getting all into a panic and getting up in arms for literally no reason at all. And that's my whole point on this. The whole injury thing is, it's football. You're going to get hurt, but you sign up for it. We're not forcing you to step on the field and make $300,000 to $1 million a year. We're not forcing you to do it. You're doing it because you want to, so stop crying. And then everyone else is like, oh my God, you're going to get hurt. No one bitches about boxing and UFC. And those people get kicked in the head for a living.
Well,
so they're more screwed up than NFL players, but no one cries about that going, oh my God, it's too violent. They get kicked in the face for a living.
To your point, I see that. I don't like if a player comes out and complains. By your point, you said no one's forcing you to do this and everything. Sure, but by that same thought, doesn't it go the other way with her kid? Nobody's... like you said, don't complain about it because nobody made you sign up for football and everything. This is someone actually making you not do it. So, I don't know.
If your kid wants to play football, let them play football. They're not going to die. No one's ever died.
No,
it's not going to happen. And
someone
yes, you might get a concussion. My brother's had 3 concussions playing in high school.
Hold up.
He's still normal. And that includes...
Trust me. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be in the Super Bowl. It's not going to be anytime within the next 5 years or so. Somebody will die. It's
people
getting
die
so much
in
worse
NASCAR.
than it
I was
is.
watching the X Games over the weekend. I'm pretty sure the one doing the
that guy,
snowmobile,
yeah, he might die.
He might die.
He might die.
He flipped his snowmobile and landed on his head, and then it fell on top of him. That dude is messed up.
Well, then by your logic, then we also need to make the X Games safer. So by your logic, let's put restrictions on everything.
Sport. Shit happens.
Then I'm just saying.
You can't turn it into a pussy sport.
I'm just saying you keep doing that where you're saying you can get hurt in any sport. But by that argument, you're just saying then we should make them all safer.
No, I'm saying stop being babies and just let them play the game. But the NFL is changing it because all these crazy people are suing now because they're half retarded from getting hit in the head for a living. Well, you know what? If you weren't smart enough to know that repeatedly getting hit in the head might screw you up, that's your own damn fault. Yeah, you know what? I will admit, back in the day, someone got drilled and they were seeing stars. They put your ass back on the field because they didn't care. But at some point, you could have been like, there is something wrong with my head. I need to sit out for a minute. So,
And you're absolutely right. But with the changes the NFL's making, it's stopping that from the past. If somebody gets a concussion now, you got to run through all these concussion tests and everything to make sure they're cool to play.
It's changing everything else.
And don't get in the head. What do you think they're changing? What are they getting rid of?
They're doing
Look at these fines and everything. What are the fines being for? It was Ndamukong Suh and Tom Brady both trying to kick somebody in the balls, and it's hits to the head. Don't kick somebody in the balls with a cleat and don't hit him in the head. How do you have a problem with that?
I get that you don't deliberately joe people in the head, but you can't flag them every time someone accidentally gets hit in the head. Or then with the Tom Brady thing, you can't hit him below the waist. You can't hit him in the head. Well, where are you going to hit him? In the chest? You're going to blow their heart out. Then you're not going to be able to hit him in the chest anymore.
If you can blow someone's heart out by hitting them, I don't even know if you should be allowed in public. You're some sort of weird animal beast man with ridiculous Hulk strength.
You can't hit people anymore because everything is a foul. And then they want to keep changing it. They've already moved
shoulder to waist. Nobody's going to foul you.
They've already moved the kickoff up to the 35, and Goodell's still talking about wanting to get rid of it. You can't get rid of the kickoff in football. It's part of the game. But he wants to get rid of it because too many concussions happen. You know what? Deal with it.
I'm just saying. You're taking this.
No. This is crap.
It's not about to be flag football.
Really?
They're doing really. They're doing just fine. It's a $9 billion company.
Yeah, and you already.
They're doing just
and every
fine.
year they're making it harder and harder to hit people.
And every year their viewers are going up and up.
But when
Fans
eventually you're not allowed
sport.
to hit them anymore, no one's gonna watch it.
They're still allowed to hit them. You got to think. They're not letting you aim for a knee or a head. Don't knock somebody's head open and don't snap their knee.
I get the don't deliberately knock them stupid in the head.
Yeah.
But sometimes
Sometimes you should just hit them in the head?
No. What I'm saying
know.
is it's happened sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the offensive player goes low and the defensive player is stuck in limbo land. Like, I can't go any lower. I'm like on the ground blowing their knee out. And then I'm going to get fined for that one too.
Well, then what?
You can only go so low.
They get fined like $5,000 and they move on to next week.
Yeah, and they get flagged 15 yards.
These things happen. You get flagged more for pass interference. I'd be more concerned about my players that are doing pass interference.
I'm just saying.
That's where the NFL needs to look.
I agree with Cutler. More people have played and not gotten.
Is it wrong that I'm more okay?
Is it wrong than people that have?
Is it wrong that I'm more okay with a politician weighing in about sports than Jay Cutler's wife?
Well, it started with
It
started with his wife saying, "I try to convince my son not to play," and then Cutler was like, "I have no problem letting." And he just had a concussion this year.
Well, he's a player. He's not going to say, "Don't do this." I mean,
I'm just saying he.
But
he said
no.
More
The point I was making
have
is
played
why
and
is
got
it
concussions and are not going crazy and dying.
I understand. All I'm
people
saying
who
is
have.
that basically the president and Jay Cutler's wife said the same thing, and for whatever reason, I'm more okay with a politician outside the sport.
Yeah, and I'm not okay with Obama running his mouth either, going, "Oh my God, I wouldn't let my son play. I wouldn't let my son play." You know what? Worry about other shit than saying, "I wouldn't let my son play football."
He was asked a question by a sports magazine about it, and then he answered the question.
Yeah, he goes, "I wouldn't let my son play because I'm a baby."
Yeah. So Jay Cutler's... Are you insulting Jay Cutler's wife?
Yeah, I'm saying she's a
Whoa!
overprotective mother.
Whoa!
Overprotective
From now on,
mother.
you will speak only when spoken to.
I don't know.
Overprotective.
It's complicated. It really is. I just think... I'll say this one last thing. And if I had a kid, I would let them play football. But I do think about this. So I think of Eric Legrand from... Legrand from
Rutgers.
From Rutgers.
Yeah,
paralyzed. The guy's a mess, and I understand the small chance of that happening, but the idea of having to me, anyways, is having a child and to having that happen to him.
I'm just saying.
Rocks me to my very core.
No one's ever died in the football
and I
field.
understand the
But
percentage-wise.
hadn't someone died playing baseball, getting beaten in the head?
Which exactly was something I was going to bring up, and I completely forgot to bring up.
So give me a break with this football shit. Someone's actually died on the baseball field.
Which brings me to Pollard's point is about how a player will die on this field, and that'll be sort of the beginning of the end. It's just like how August 16th, 1920, Ray Chapman, shortstop the Cleveland Indians, the year they went all the way, one of the 2 years, he got drilled in the side of the head. 12 hours later, he died in the hospital. And then we all stopped playing baseball, remember? 1920.
It ceased to exist.
Canceled baseball. From that point
Well,
on,
in the 1920s, people weren't sissies.
Okay.
Someone dies, shit happens. It's one time in 900 million people who have played baseball.
Football will always be here because we don't have an alternative.
If someone dies, they're not going to allow hitting anymore. I'm telling you that right now.
They're never going to take away hitting.
Really?
Trust me. Yes, really.
Really? Because
Time
no
to
one's
start
died
playing
yet.
rollerball.
They've never tried to take away hitting. They're just saying, don't hit in these spots. It makes perfect sense.
It does, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes it happens. And what are you going to do? If the dude kills him, they're going to be like, oh, you weren't supposed to hit in the head. Now
It's
you're
like,
under arrest for
sometimes
murder.
it happens. Sure. It's not like they're kicking you out of the league. It was an accident. All right, 15 yards and like $5,000. Whatever. Move on with your day. You're saying sometimes it happens on accident.
They're getting
It
too
does. You're not
gung-ho
getting
about this
punished that
safety
bad.
thing because every time I turn on Sports Center, it's someone else going, oh my God, safety in football.
That's Sports Center. You can't let that factor
It's on
into
every
this.
sports channel, everything. Oh my God, safety in football.
Well, I mean, it's something to
Rather
think about.
No, it's not.
Yeah, no, it's not. We shouldn't look at safety at
No,
all. You just said no, it's
they're
not.
pushing it too way beyond, like just too much.
I disagree. I think people are letting their imaginations run wild with what they
No.
think could happen, instead of stopping and looking at what is happening and what's going on right now. The
It's a
game's
violent
just
sport.
fine.
You're gonna get a concussion. It happens.
And then you sit out a week, and then it's all good.
No, because in the NFL's like, oh my God, too many concussions. We gotta figure this out.
Don't let him hit him in the head. We're just going in circles here. 3 up, 3 down time. We're gonna end the show. We'll give you a second to calm down. Catch your breath here. Down number 3, Roger Goodell. Recent poll shows 39% approval rating from NFL players. Before I get a snap out of you, he works for the owners, not the players. Doesn't matter if they like him. Down number 2, Alex Rodriguez. After hip surgery this month, GM Brian Cashman said he could miss the whole 2013 season. And then when asked to clarify, he said, or he could not. You know, it's hard to tell. Then why are you
I hope he
bringing it
does.
up?
I hate A-Rod.
A-Rod sucks. Down number 1, Rajon Rondo. Tore ACL, done for the year. Up number 3, Greg Williams. Set to be reinstated by the NFL from his ban.
He's got a job
And he's
waiting
also
for him at
set to be
Tennessee.
hired by the Tennessee Titans to run their
Alright.
defense, to set up Bounty Gate 2.
I'm good with that.
Up number 2, Manchester United. That's right. I'm aware soccer happens.
Oh,
First pro sports franchise to be valued at over $3 billion. And up number 1, best week in the world of sports, Kyrie Irving has led the Cavs to 3 straight wins, meaning he did not lose at all this week. Also, that pretty much buzzer beater 3 to beat
and it
the
was
Raptors.
awesome.
Named to an All-Star for the first time in his career on Thursday, and after the Rondo injury, he very well might be the starter. We won't know who the starter is until a coach is named, and we won't know who the coach is until we know who will have the best record. Probably Eric Spoelstra, but we can't be sure right now. Signs are good, though, that Irving should and probably will be named.
Let's go,
the starter.
Kyrie.
So good for you, Mr. Irving. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. Remember our Super Bowl picks because that's what we're talking about next week.
Niners
We're
all
coming
the
to you
way.
live the day after the big game next Monday night at 7. So remember to check that out. All that, and we're going to be talking so much more. It's going to be great. Maybe a commercial will come up or two. Who knows? So for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I'm Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week, same time, same place. Thanks for listening to High on Sports on MorningShowCentral.com.
You are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit.